Okie dokie, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is Saturday the 2nd of March. We are officially 4 weeks into the diet and we are 28 weeks out from the first show of the year. Today's video is going to be a bit of a change up from the gym, the day in the life, the full day of eating content, and it's just going to be a bit of a prep update, 4 weeks in, cardio chats, and a bit of a Q&A. So I got a few questions from Instagram, so figured I'd go through those. So might get a bit puffed at some point, so I'll make sure this chops up so there's no awkward silences at any point, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully the lighting's okay here. I've got the ring light just in front of me. Otherwise it was going to be a little dark because the sun's still coming up. It's a bit later than I would normally like to do cardio. It is 7:40 now. I had to make sure that I could get my check-in photos done in natural lighting outside, so that's what I've done just before this. So I'm sure I'll pop some photos up at some point here in the clip. But anyway, bit of an update on prep thus far. 4 weeks in, after 2 and a bit weeks of the prep, food did drop a bit, so I'll try and reel these off from my understanding. I might also cross-check with my Google Sheets just for some accuracy. So to start the prep, we had calories at macros on a training day of 300 protein, 50 fat, 400 carb. Non-training day, 300 protein, 60 fat, 350 carb. And then in a full day of eating that might have been a couple videos ago from this one, the revised, which was just a 50 carb drop on both days. So 350 then carb on a training day and 300 on a non-training day. In terms of body weight, sort of average body weight was around the 101-ish on, start of the prep. And now we are down to averaging in the 97s at the minute. So probably only like 3 to 4 kilos dropped in 4 weeks, which is kind of the rate of loss that we're after at the minute. The first 8 weeks, it's roughly 1% that we're hoping to lose. Trying to be quite aggressive out of the blocks. So for example, had a prep low yesterday morning of 97.4, but then back up to 97.9 as of this morning post rest day yesterday. So that's body weight, that's food. In terms of training continues to go really well. I know I touch on this at other points and you'll see lots of training content and all of that. Legs, pull movements. I'm actually training pull today, so keen for that one. It's the same, the hyperextension session, which will actually be, I know it's already edited and coming out, and I know there's a bit of a lag in the videos that are coming out, but that one should already be out, so go check that out if you haven't already. So doing that one today. Pull strength and leg strength has been super good, and or progressing still, and or matching numbers and just getting good connections at movements. Pressing is a little bit challenging, as you would know. Weight moves weight when it comes to presses. You're a few kilos down and you jump under the dumbbell, you flick up the dumbbells on the dumbbell press, on the incline dumbbell press, and it just fucking feels heavy, stability wise. So yeah, let's get this resistance up a little bit. Cardio is 3 times 300 calories weekly. To touch on why I track calories as opposed to time, so it'll become evident at some point here that, potentially because I'm trying to talk at the same time, my heart rate may not get, and I may not be able to exert as much because I'm talking so much. So I may not be able to burn the same as I ordinarily would. I think that's is accurate. Potentially it's not the accurate in terms of the calories, but it's consistently inconsistent. As opposed to time, where I think everyone will know that 30 minutes of cardio isn't the same as every 30 minutes of cardio. So to cut that out, 300 calories, which takes anywhere between, on a good day, 22 to 23 minutes, upwards of 27, 28 minutes if I struggle to get my heart rate up like I otherwise would. So that's just the way that I like to do it, and has seemed to work, you know, quite well for me. So it's funny because I used to, during last prep, I was doing 500 calories burned, which shit, that would take me maybe 35 minutes or so. But who knows if that cardio will increase from the 3 times, because even during mini cuts, never went above 3. Off season, it's been 3. Since not long after prep, it's been 3 sessions, so in prep 2021. So for 2 and a bit years, it's been always 3 sessions weekly. In other news, it is Arnold weekend, which is very exciting. I know that once this video comes out, it'll be old news, but the classic physique pre-judging was this morning. Wesley Vizers looks very good and probably surprised me a little bit in how good he looked, but not surprising equally because of the update photos that he has been posting. I mean, it's just like, yes, the progress photos have been impressive, but it's how do they look standing next to others. And I do think Ramon, you know, clearly had to make weight, and probably had to fill up a bit quickly, potentially. Looked like he had a bit of a film of water under his skin. So it potentially is 1 and 2, Wesley, Ramon, Urs third. Probably doesn't quite look as good as the Olympia. Brion does look good, but probably still a 4th. And maybe Michael de Boer in 5th. He's not even in the first caller. Anyway, so that could be exciting. Personally, you know, at Ramon's best, there's a big gap between him and the rest. Obviously aside from Chris, but he's obviously not in it. We've then got the Open, which is on the pre-judging in a couple hours in the night show for them. So it's my predictions. I got them here on my notes. My thoughts, which could turn out to be, you know, accurate or not. I still think Hardy, I'll go through my rationale for all of these a bit. I think Hardy and Derek at the Olympia, there was a decent enough gap between both of them and Samson in 3rd. Hence why I think it's going to be very challenging for that gap to close. So whilst Derek is out of the picture, I think equally that plus Samson's improvements, and not sure how much Hardy can improve, makes me think that I still think Hardy's going to win. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Samson, you know, was up there. As in, you know, tossing and turning. You know, some people vote for Samson to win, some for Hardy. So I feel like that's a pretty shoe-in bet, being those top 2. Then I think you sort of got the second, you know, ranks being Rafa, Horse, and James all look great. You know, I come back to historically, Rafa in the 2022 Olympia finished 10th. I just feel like that's, and he's gone and added, you know, maybe 10, 15 pounds onto that stage weight. I suspect he might be then up there again, potentially 3rd. Horse looks very good. I think his shape will potentially outdo James, but then equally if James can bring the fullness and that grainy condition, which he often loses as soon as he brings the tan and needs to fill up. So if he can bring that, I can see him bringing in 4th. And then I sort of have the next pack, which is kind of the rest, but I also think at the top of that rest is probably Anton and John De La Rosa, 6th, 7th-ish. And then Shaban, Akeem, Justin to round out the top 10, which equally could flip in any order. You know, it's funny to think that Akeem, he's been top 6 at the Olympia before. His track record of nailing it is not great, so I can't, in my right mind, think that he's going to nail it. But if he does, and same with Justin, who's been in the top when was it? It was the Arnold 2022, I think. Yeah, so 2022 was the one that Brandon won from memory. Was it Brandon or Bonac? And Justin finished, I feel like he was second or third after prejudging and then just shit the bed overnight and finished fourth potentially. Anyway, I suppose this will all become irrelevant when this video comes out because this will be, weeks ago. But anyway, just a bit of food for thought. Circling back to prep feels updates. I think this is cool to document. I would definitely say noticeably feeling leaner, tighter, which is a good sign. It's evident that my legs and or from the rear is what needs to get leaner. My upper body from the front is already quite lean, which is probably deceiving when I post photos because it looks like I'm leaner than I am, even though I've probably got 10 to 12 kilos to lose. Energy levels, noticeably at points drop throughout the day. That's evident, but nothing that I can't manage at this stage. Not needing to abuse things like caffeine at this stage whatsoever. Still keeping as per and know that there's, diminishing returns when it comes to caffeine intake. Alrighty, so this video was obviously meant to be the cardio chats and Q&A, prep update, all of that, which I did get the prep update and all of that filmed at the start, but I was just my battery on this camera unfortunately wasn't charged up enough and it died a couple times, and I was sick of, jumping off the cardio, coming in here, plugging it into charge, and then vice versa, going back and forth. So anywho, I'm going to maybe not include, because I was just a bit back and forth, the Q&A stuff, and I'll save that for another video. I think I've chatted a bit about the prep, went on a rant about the Arnold and all of that, so I'm going to wrap it up there. My egg whites are currently cooking, so that I've got that to look forward to, egg whites and chicken, so be envious of me. Anyway, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stay up to date with all the latest YouTube videos every Sunday, 5 p.m. And if you've got any questions or anything you'd like me to discuss, chat about, you'd like to see during the prep, the journey, all of that, please comment down below, much appreciated. But anyway, have a great day, we'll see you in the next one.